Imagine a universe without light. No longer a sun to warm the planet. No longer stars to lead the way in the night sky. Not a single photon flying through the void to enter the lenses of the most modern telescopes. The universe, at this moment, is nothing more than a pitch black and silent abyss. But in the midst of that absolute darkness, there is a question that will change everything you have ever known about reality. If light were to disappear, would the speed of light still exist? The answer is yes. Because of a truth that NASA or textbooks rarely emphasize to you, celeritas has never truly belonged to light. We call the number 299,792,458 meters per second the speed of light, only because light was the first thing humans encountered moving at that limit. But in reality, light is merely an accidental messenger. Deep beneath the fabric of the universe, celeritas is something far more powerful. It is the maximum speed of information. It is the ultimate limit of all physical interactions. In other words, it is the speed of causality. So, if celeritas is not the property of light, where does it come from? And why does the universe need a limit to prevent events from occurring instantaneously? This is Dark Orbit. Join us as we step into the abyss to unmask the most important constant of the universe. This journey will shake the foundations of your reality. To understand the reason why humanity is imprisoned by a strange number, such as the speed of light, we must travel back in time to 1632. This was the moment a man named Galileo Galilei began to realize that the universe not only does not revolve around us, but it also grants no priority to anyone who is in motion. Most of us remember Galileo for his battle to defend the model of the Earth revolving around the Sunday, but he possessed an even deeper intuition, something that later became the soul of modern physics, the principle of relativity. Galileo proposed a thought experiment. If you were locked in a windowless room on a ship gliding steadily across the sea, no acceleration, no vibration, you would never know whether you were moving or standing still. You pour a glass of water, the drop falls straight down. You toss a ball, it lands right back in your hand. Not a single physical experiment in that room could reveal the true velocity of the ship. For the universe, there is no concept of absolute rest. A ship at sea, a room on Earth, or a drifting galaxy, all are equal reference frames. Isaac Newton inherited this intuition to build the grand architecture of classical mechanics. If a horse runs at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour and a monkey runs on its back at an additional 5 kilometers per hour, then a person standing by the roadside will see the monkey racing at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. But Newton did not know that this obvious intuition would soon be torn apart once we reach the speed of light. By the 19th century, James Clerk Maxwell, a Scottish genius, made a giant leap. He gathered all the discrete laws of electric and magnetic fields into a single set of 4 equations. And he accidentally discovered a terrifying thing. His equations indicated that electric and magnetic fields could create a continuous oscillating wave spreading through space. And when calculating the velocity of this wave, Maxwell was stunned. The figure that appeared was exactly the speed of light. Recall Galileo's intuition that we just discussed. Velocity is relative. Imagine our monkey this time carrying an electric charge. If the monkey stands still, it only creates an electric field. But according to Maxwell's laws, if that charge moves, it creates a magnetic field. The problem is, whether an object is moving or standing still inherently depends on the observer. The person standing by the road sees the monkey racing very fast on the horse's back, so they see a powerful magnetic field. But the horse itself, because it is running at the same speed as the monkey, sees the monkey standing still, and therefore it sees no magnetic field at all. So who is right? Who is truly observing the physical truth? According to Newton's intuition, both are right in their own reference frame. But Maxwell's equations presented the speed of light appeared as a dictatorial number. A real crisis broke out. On one side was Newton with a mechanical order lasting more than 200 years. On the other side was Maxwell with the perfect beauty of electromagnetic fields. If Maxwell is right, then Newton's map of space and time must be wrong. And if Newton is right, then electromagnetism, the thing that was lighting up the world at that time, was just an accidental mistake. To solve this problem, we need a new map for reality itself. Hendrik Lorentz appeared as an architect of the anomaly. He realized that if the speed of light is truly constant for everyone, then the price to pay is extremely high. Space and time can no longer be immutable entities. Lorentz proposed a crazy solution. To uphold Maxwell's electromagnetic laws, the universe must allow space and time to dilate and contract according to motion. He proposed that the faster you move, the more your reality will be squeezed. The length of an object will contract in the direction of motion, and each second of the clock will dilate, slowing down as if submerged underwater. This is not an error of measurement instruments. It is the way the universe bends itself to ensure that no matter how fast you race, you will always measure the speed of light as a single, unchanging number. In Lorentz's new map, the speed of light revealed itself for the first time not merely as the velocity of photon particles. It appeared as a special parameter of the very structure of spacetime. Imagine the speed of light as a physical barrier of the universe. Galileo's old transformation is only a special case when we move too slowly. Lorentz found the mathematical formula to save physics. He proved that electricity and magnetism are not separate. They are two sides of the same entity when viewed through different maps of time. However, at that time, Lorentz himself did not dare to believe in this truth. He regarded those dilations and contractions as merely a mathematical trick to fit Maxwell's equations. He could not have suspected that he had just accidentally touched the true nature of the world. In 1905, a low-level clerk at a patent office in Switzerland saw a much more shocking truth. Albert Einstein declared, "Space and time are not separate things." He called it spacetime. Einstein pointed out the greatest connection in the history of physics through the equation E equals mc2. When you push an object to move faster, the energy you provide to it does not only turn into velocity, but it also turns into mass. The closer you get to the speed of light, the more infinitely heavy that object becomes. To reach that exact number, you need an infinite source of energy, something that does not exist in this universe. But why? Why did the universe build such a solid Great Wall to prevent us from crossing? The answer lies in a concept that we call the speed of causality. Every event occurring in this universe has an area of influence. When you turn on a beam of light, information about the existence of that light beam spreads around, but it does not appear everywhere immediately. It needs time. The light cone is the boundary of truth. What lies inside the cone are things you can influence, things that can be the cause leading to the effect. What lies outside the cone are lands that you cannot yet reach. Imagine if we could send information faster than the speed of light. At that time, the light cone would be broken. In the theory of relativity, if information travels faster than this limit, there will exist reference frames where people see the effect occur before there is a cause. You could receive a reply to a letter that you have not even written yet. You could see a star explode before it actually collapses. Therefore, stop viewing the number 186,000 miles per second as an obstacle to space travel. Look at it as a protective mechanism. The speed of light is essentially the maximum speed of information to keep a story able to be told in its correct order, and every cause precedes the effect. In recent years, we have entered a golden age of astronomy. The fourth observation run of the LIGO, Virgo, KAGIA network, which just concluded at the end of 2025, recorded hundreds of signals from the most violent collisions in the universe. But the real turning point was just announced in January 2026. The signal named GW250114 has become a historical milestone. When these two black holes merged, they caused space-time to ring like a massive bell. By using the most precise measuring instruments ever built by humanity, scientists confirmed a shocking truth. These gravitational ripples travel at a speed accurate to every decimal point compared to the speed of light. What does this mean? It means that the speed of light is by no means the exclusive privilege of photon particles. Gravitational waves have no mass, they are not light, they are vibrations of the void itself, yet they are still bound by the exact same speed limit. This is the final ironclad evidence. The figure 186,282 miles per second is a property of the universe itself. It is the limit that the structure of spacetime imposes on all information, all forces, and all interactions. The universe does not care whether you are a brilliant particle of light or a dark shockwave from a black hole. If you want to transmit a message from point A to point B, you must follow the rules of causality. You must obey the speed of causality. After centuries of debate, we now know for certain. The speed of light is not a number to measure how fast or slow something is. It is the heartbeat of reality, the thing that keeps events from happening all at once. But let's try to ask one final question. What would happen if this limit disappeared? If the universe did not have a speed barrier, would our existence become a paradise of freedom, or a nightmare of chaos? In that case, all barriers would collapse. Every signal would be transmitted instantaneously. Every location in the universe would know about every other location at the very moment they came into existence. The entire universe would become one giant here and now. It sounds like freedom, but it would be the end of reality. A universe without a causal limit would not be like a movie with each frame following another to form a story. It would be like taking an entire film roll billions of years long, compressing it all together, and projecting it onto the screen in a single microsecond. With no sequence, there would be no history. If everything related instantaneously, past and future would no longer have physical boundaries. Cause would no longer need time to lead to effect. The universe would lose its ability to tell a story. We often think of limits as something that makes us less free. But in physics, a limit is exactly what creates structure. Because the speed of light is finite, the sun needs 8 minutes to send its warmth to us. Because the speed of light is finite, when looking up at the stars, we can look back into the past and understand our own origins. And because the speed of causality is finite, this universe has order, has distance, and has a flow of time for us to exist in. We have called it the speed of light for centuries, simply because light was the first thing that helped us recognize this firewall of reality. But after everything we have discovered, from Maxwell's equations to the echoes of gravitational waves in 2026, the truth has been revealed. Light does not create this limit. Light is merely a faithful messenger, traveling on the ultimate boundary of physics to remind us that the universe has an order. The speed of light is actually the maximum speed of connection. It is what keeps every cause always preceding the effect. And it is what allows your life and this entire universe to unfold as a meaningful story. This is Dark Orbit. Thank you for entering the abyss of truth with us. See you in the next episodes about the universe.